So they kicked me off the ship for throwing up on the captain, so we washed ashore onto Cinnabar Island. And let me tell you, it was quite the journey. It's a nice change of pace from the forest, fields, cities, and caves. I did have to spam repels, but that's what the Zubat and Tentacool memes come from. All this, yet I didn't have the same frustration with the trainers that I did leading to Fuchsia City. Probably because I didn't incessantly run into poison and psychic types, as water types are a lot easier for me to deal with. But the main thing is that I didn't run into solely water types. Even the island is a nice switch up. The gym's locked, so you gotta visit the mystery of the island. And you thought I was gonna talk about the Pokemon Mansion. No, we're talking about the Eastern Shore. Probably the most infamous glitch with Generation 1 is what lies on the end of the east side of Cinnabar Island. But it won't activate until you speak with Old Man Alcoholic back in Viridian City, who's sobered up at this point, and shows you his Weedle. Soon after, you can surf, and... Right, I can't do that unless I manually surf. Stupid primitive game design. Okay, now you can surf on the east edge of Cinnabar Island. This is where you can encounter Pokemon who are over level 100, which, apologies to ZA, Generation 1 already stole your thunder there. Or a strange amalgamation of a sprite known as Missigno. This monster does a number on your game save. It'll duplicate the 6th item in your bag for some reason, corrupt your Hall of Fame, and if you try to catch it... I said, if you try to catch it, you missed the Pokemon my ass. There we go. That's how you do it. And now, if you add it to your party... I said if you add it to your party... Shit, I think I softlocked the game. Just take my word for it. Everything goes haywire at this point until you release this mess far away from you. But now we can really get into the biggest mystery of Gen 1. The Pokemon Mansion. In the games, you run through it looking for the secret key to unlock Blaine's gym. But in the lore, it's where the Mew and Mewtwo experiment took place. In every form of Pokemon media, Rocket is tied back to this experiment. The anime, manga, but not the games for some reason. This was mentioned back when we were covering Silphco, but the fact that there's so much interesting data strewn about the mansion of Mewtwo and Mew makes things feel so empty. The disconnect between the experiment and Rocket has to be one of the most disappointing things about this game. It would have made the storyline deeper. I mean, how the hell would you explain why South America is mentioned on one of the journal entries? And they still haven't even made a region based off of said continent. All I'm saying is that it's a missed opportunity. And I'll say it again. With all Team Rocket did throughout Kanto, it all aligns to stop Mewtwo. But nothing comes from it. And it all remains locked behind community lore. Which is why I built a story in my lore upon that, but that's a story for another day, not now. Back outside where the sun's shining on our face, and I really have to hand it to the developers. If there's one thing I thoroughly enjoyed about this game, it's the region. But what I like most about it is its layout. If you looked at this map without knowing, you wouldn't be able to pick out the starting town. Hell, at times, you ain't sure where you're gonna go next. It's a little annoying, but it keeps this player guessing. It's not the later region where the progression is completely obvious and extremely linear. Not gonna say what, because that's a rant for another day. But Kanto's progression has you travel in all sorts of places, and even forces you to backtrack at times due to roadblocks. Nonsensical roadblocks, but it gets you thinking. Your mind starts to groove. The gears start to click. I wish they used this as the building blocks for other regions. Oh, yeah, right. I doused Blaine pretty easily while I was discussing Kanto, and the only thing noteworthy is how his gym involves trivia, but in Generation 1 you likely wouldn't have even noticed the machines that asked the questions, and instead talked to the trainers themselves. Make it more obvious what to do next time, so I don't gotta brute force everything myself.